Once upon a time, in a small village nestled deep within a forest, there was an old farm with a scarecrow standing watch over it. The scarecrow had an eerie, unsettling appearance. It wore a large hat, had gleaming black glass eyes, and its body was made of rotting wood wrapped in tattered clothes. The villagers feared the scarecrow, believing it to be somehow alive and that it wandered the fields at night. No one dared go near it, except for a young girl named Layla, who was fascinated by magic and ghostly tales. One foggy night, Layla decided to finally meet the scarecrow. She ventured to the farm and stood beside it, feeling a strange, dark force pulling her toward the figure. Suddenly, the glass eyes of the scarecrow began to glow, and it stared directly at her. Layla's heart raced, but she convinced herself it must be her imagination. Then, to her shock, the scarecrow began to move and spoke. "Why have you come?" Layla, trembling, replied, "I just wanted to know if you were truly alive." The scarecrow answered in a faint, sorrowful voice, "I have stood here for countless years, longing for someone to notice me and speak to me." Layla stepped closer and realized that the scarecrow seemed almost human, as if it had a heart beating within. Out of curiosity and empathy, she reached out her hand toward it and asked, "Why can't you be free?" The scarecrow, with a voice that sounded close to breaking, replied, "Since the day I was created, I have loved humans, but I could only watch them from afar. My soul is trapped within these wooden limbs, and I can never return to the real world." Moved by his plight, Layla resolved to help him. But just at that moment, darkness fell over them, and the farm's walls began to tremble. Something terrifying had awakened in the heart of the night. As Layla extended her hand toward the scarecrow, a deep rumbling sound echoed from the ground, which started cracking beneath them. She tried to step back, but her foot was trapped in the mud. The scarecrow's eyes blazed like fire as it said, "It's too late. Now that you've come near me, there's no way back." Shadows emerged from the cracks in the earth, encircling Layla. The scarecrow continued, now with a sinister grin, "Welcome to this world, Layla. I have waited years for someone who could free me from this hell, and you are the one." Layla looked around in horror, hearing whispering voices rise from the shadows. These shadows wrapped around her neck, drawing her closer to the scarecrow, who was transforming before her eyes. The rotting wood began to crack, and from within emerged skeletal limbs, something alive and terrifying. The scarecrow was no longer human. It was now a twisted, cursed creature with a dreadful face. The shadows wrapped tightly around her, and Layla suddenly felt paralyzed. The scarecrow leaned closer, smiling coldly as it said, "Goodbye, Layla. From now on, you shall be the scarecrow of this farm." With a voiceless scream, Layla felt her spirit being torn from her body, imprisoned within the rotting wood. When she opened her eyes, she no longer inhabited her own body. She was now the scarecrow, condemned to watch silently, destined never to be free.